Alright, so we're going to do a drain and refill the baths. At the moment the pump's running, and I'm going to change the position of the handle on the filter. So any time that we do that, we need to make sure the pump's off. So I'm going to unplug the chiller and the pump, and that will stop. And I put them in that little box. And then I'm going to come to the filter. This is on a locked position on the filter setting here. I'm going to open the handle and I'm going to turn it until that notch lines up with backwash. And then lock it in place. So when it's on the backwash setting, the water's going to get drawn into the pump, into the filter in a different way. It's going to zhuzh up all the sand and then pump the waste water down this waste pipe. And I've trailed the waste pipe into the shower tray here. You can see actually that already there's some water running out of it. And now I'm just going to run the pump, and it will start to drain the baths and at the same time clean the filter. So we could just do the second part of this now, where we put in the sump pump, the bilge pump or whatever, and do it all like that, but we might as well run it through the sand and give that a clean at the same time. So, plug this in, and you can see it's rushing out. So what's happening now is the water is getting drawn out of this outlet on both baths, and it will get to a point where it will start to suck air through. So you want to stop it before that point. So you want to avoid having air in the system when the pump's running. So I'm just going to wait until the water level gets to the point where it's sort of maybe starting to suck some air, and then we'll take the plug out of the pump again.
Okay.
This one is draining more quickly than that one when we're running this backwash. So I'm going to turn off the outlet on this one to stop it from draining. Because you see you can hear it starting to suck air. So I'm going to close that off. And now it's only going to suck from that one.
Nice.
And I'll just wait until that gets to the same point. So I could hear that it was starting to gurgle again, so I just pulled this one out. So for the majority of for whatever water's left, we're going to now use the bilge pump to pump it out. So I'll set that. So this is the bilge pump. So the way that it works is it sucks. You put it in the water, and it sucks the water from the bottom, and then it pumps it out of here. And what we're going to do is attach this hose to that end, and run the hose all the way to the drain. So I'm going to open that up, tighten this up a little bit, put the hose clip on, put that onto the outlet, just kind of give it a little wiggle, get it on fairly tightly. So that feels quite good. I'm going to put the hose clip down, and then need to tighten this up with a screwdriver. So because you're tightening metal onto plastic, you don't want to overdo it, but obviously we want it to be watertight. So I'm just going until it's kind of hand tight. Yeah. Hopefully that's alright. So yeah, now I'm going to run that over to the drain. Now we're ready to plug the pump in there, please. So the way this works, the pump will be ready to turn on as soon as you plug it in. There's no like on-off switch. What you have instead of an on-off switch is this. So this is a water sensor. As soon as it makes contact with water, the whole thing will turn on. Or you can have it running in like manual mode where it will just run continuously. If you put it in the side like that, so that might, sometimes that's just the easiest thing to do. You just insert it in like that. Before we start to drain the bath, I'm going to lock off all the valves. So, yeah, just so we're kind of avoiding, like, I think it just makes it simpler because otherwise you get all this water coming in from the tubes and start to drain air and stuff like that. So, just tightening all the backs of these. I'll do the other one as well. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put this into the water, and it just will sit level on the floor, on the bottom of it. And then I'll go and plug this in. And it should start immediately. So I can see it's getting caught in this pink, so it's going to free that up, and you have to do that a few times. Watch where you start it because it will go crazy. We can't get much wetter, so. Okay, so I'm just going to encourage more water down the end for the pump because the pump won't go to like nothing. Yeah, so I'm gonna lift this up, just when it gets to a height that feels doable, and then just try and like, I don't know, stick something under it. Okay, so I can hear that the pump is starting to struggle. So I'm going to unplug it because just like with our system, we don't want any air running through it. So just unplugging it, and then I'm going to move it into the other bath. Sometimes it can I find it can really struggle to get going once it's had a bit of air in it. So it can take a bit of fiddling. I'm going to hold it down till it stops. Lovely. Sounds quite sinister. And then plug it in again. That's that plug. Yeah, see, it does this. Oh, that's alright. Good. Sometimes I've found with this that it will if it gets any air in it, that you have to really kind of zhuzh it about a little bit to get it going again. I don't know there's no method behind it. So while that's doing its thing, we can just get the last of the water out of this empty bath. I'm just using the flexible bucket thing. And I'll just do this until it's pretty much dry, and then if you want to be really keen, you can use a towel to soak up the last bits. But I mean, this should be all right. I mean, sometimes you can see there's more sort of stuff floating in the water, and then you might want to drain it more. But cool. So that one's all run to the point where it's starting to get a bit of air in it. So we unplugged the pump. So I'm just going to pack this away, just roll up the hose and put it back in the box in the cupboard. And then we'll get the last bits of water out of that bath with the bucket again. Alright, so now we're going to clean the baths. So we'll just give everything a wipe with the cleaner, particularly around the bottom. Oh yeah, nice. I wish I didn't do that. Okay, so so it kind of fills up like scum, like around the edges. So yeah, give that a good. Oh, you can see down here. Let's get a close up on this.
Ghostly ectoplasm.
We get all that, and then the other thing to do is unscrew the filters here, because they can get a bit clogged up. This looks alright, but what I do is
it looks kind of horrible inside as well.
there we go. Yeah. So we give that a little spray as well, and I'll just give this a rinse with the hose. Just spray it back the other way. So I'm giving everything a wipe and with the spray, and I'm just going to rinse it off with the water. But obviously that's going to, I've got like a load of dirty water here now, so I'm going to just drain that out again, just manually with the bucket. So the baths are clean. We put the filters back on, the grey filters back on. The valves are still closed. So these are all ready to refill. So what I'd now do is open up all the valves, run the hose in, clamp it in place so you don't have to be here while that's happening. Yeah, fill up the tubs, then I'd close off the valves, I'd go to the pump, I'd prime the pump. I've already done a video on that, so I'll link to that. Prime the pump, you could use that as a chance to clean the filter, clean the Aqualoon balls. Then reopen the valves, run a rinse, unplug the pump, turn it to filter, plug it back in, and we're good. And then we add the sanitizer, and then we're open.